Hello guys, welcome to the latest episode of The Table, where people you know tell stories you don't. I'm your host, Nathan Keyworth, and yes, all three of my co-hosts, all four of us have hats on. It's just how it's gonna work today, I'm afraid, but Winston even has like a whole costume going on. I just noticed that.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
Are you Santa's elf at the mall or something?
it got very hot in here very fast.
so
I'm like dripping.
Ooh.
that's your main co-host, Table Crowd, and
Yeah,
then
save us the details.
so pretty much Ava Samara has pretty much become like the overseer of the new network. So she stepped down as like kind of like secondary co-host of the table. So we have enlisted a new secondary co-host and a tertiary co-host. For our secondary co-host, Stockton, just give us like a quick 10-second description of yourself.
I'm Stockton Pyle. I've got long hair, I guess. Moving on.
And he is a senior, for your information. For our tertiary co-host, Jillian.
I'm Jillian. I have longer hair than Stockton, and I'm a sophomore.
I doubt it. I doubt you have longer hair than Stockton.
All right. And we are here today to pretty much we're asking Mr. Cozad here just about some details and just questions that you students may have wanted to ask him for forever. Just questions, not bad questions, Mr. Kozad.
I'm ready for anything.
Just ask the questions, Nathan. Yeah,
We're not going to ask you anything embarrassing.
Well, we might ask him some things once the camera stops rolling, but that'll be director's cut.
Okay. I guess that I'll go first. So, first question, you may call it a doozy, but it's not. What lessons have you learned from teaching, Mr. Cozad, in maybe about 30 seconds?
Oh, man. First of all, I just want
ticking.
you to know that you have not, I don't know any of the questions you're going to ask me, so this is completely off the dome. So what lessons have I learned in teaching?
15 seconds left.
I think the biggest lesson I've learned is that every person is uniquely different, and every brain learns very, very differently. I never really believed it when people said they just weren't math people until I taught math. And I have learned that there legitimately are people that just aren't math people, and it does not come as naturally to some as it does to others. So I think that's probably, without really thinking too much more about it, the first thing that comes to mind is that truly every student, every brain is unique in the way they approach and they learn things.
I am one of those people that is not a math person, so I completely understand what you're saying.
Agreed.
Well, you better be good at math because you need to know a lot of math to build the toys that you build in the North Pole. So,
Know enough math to pass your class, just barely though.
That's a good question. Yeah.
All right. So, Winston, I guess it's you next.
What is the best piece of advice you've received over the past few years?
Oh man. That's a hard question because I became a father 6 years ago. So I got a lot of good advice about being a dad. But I think probably the best advice that I've gotten over the last several years, it's to not take things too seriously.
Amen to that.
Amen.
That life is just way too short to take everything so serious all the time. To yourself too seriously, your future too seriously, your relationships too seriously. I don't know. It just, sometimes when you get bogged down with taking things too seriously, you lose sight of what's really important and you don't enjoy your current situation or your current setup. Right. So yeah, I think just not to take things too seriously would probably be one of the first things to come to mind.
I don't take myself seriously at all.
Great advice too is to pay your teachers more money. That's great too.
Well, different topic for a different day.
And that's a great question. You guys are asking good stuff.
I hope so.
Austin, you next. Just
Oh,
pick a
me next?
question.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then we'll have Jillian go last, and once Jillian.
Jillian's not even on the camera anymore. I don't even know where she went.
Oh.
Oh, she is. I see.
Yeah, she's
her.
there.
Oh, there she is.
Winston, you have your glasses on?
No.
All right, next question. Why do you teach what you teach?
Oh, wow. So real brief background. I did not go to college to be a teacher. I got a degree in finance and a minor in math. And my plan when I was in college was to go work in investment banking when I graduated. And I remember sitting in a class where I had this thought of like, I realized in this finance class I was taking that like my future and my life's goal was going to be to make rich people more money. And that was just, I don't know, that just didn't sit great with me. That's the largest water cup I've ever seen.
Ignore that.
Yeah, I just had a moment where I thought, I don't know that's the direction I want my life to go. And just found this, just so happened to get an info session about a teaching organization that takes people like me who aren't trained to be teachers and teaches them to be teachers. And they sent me to Houston, and I taught 6 years in the inner city at HISD, and then I've been here for 7 years. So the reason why I'm here and I do what I do is, this sounds really cheesy, but I had teachers that meant the world to me, and invested their time and energy in making me a better person. And it just felt like the right thing to do to pass that on to somebody else. So my goal is to do something in somebody's life so they think, you know what, I'm going to take that and I'm going to pass that on to somebody else. I'm who I am and the teacher that I am because I'm standing on the shoulders of awesome teachers in my history, in my past. And I hope to be one of those teachers for somebody else that, they look back and they're interviewed at their school and they say, why do you teach? Man, because Cozad just changed the way I viewed the world. And if that happens, if that happens, all I ask is that you send me just $100 bill in the mail, an envelope, with name on it.
On a teacher's salary, I don't know.
For you, absolutely, Mr. Cozad.
That's another great question. You guys are doing a great job.
All right, Jillian, you're up.
All right.
No pressure.
Mr. Cozad, has a student ever done anything for you that you would have never expected them to do?
Yes. I wish I would have known this question was coming because in this file cabinet behind me, I have a folder that's full of notes and cards that I get from students over the last 13 years of teaching. And there's one card in there that means the absolute world to me. I was teaching my very first year as a teacher. I was teaching 7th grade math. And my group of 7th graders, I was getting married that year and they knew I was getting married and it was close to my wedding. And one day I'm teaching the lesson and I could tell something was happening in the class. And I realized they were all passing this note around. So this is like teacher, like heaven. You're like, yes, I get to actually take a note and say, I'm going to read this out loud, so I get this note and they all get like real uncomfortable. And I look at it and they had done a hand-drawn like wedding card for my wife and I, where they had all signed it and wrote little notes of encouragement and signed their names. And it was just like little 12 and 13-year-old boys and girls that really had no idea what being married really meant and how big of a deal it was for me. So that particular group of kids, I never would have expected that. But it was just it was just such a blessing to have that. And I still have it. If I would have known you were asking that, I'd pull it out and show you. But yeah, that's the stuff that just blows me away when students just say really, really kind and encouraging things, because that's why we do what we do. So you guys never cease to blow me away.
Oh, and that's sweet.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I am glad that you think that we were asking such good questions. We definitely took a lot of time to think of these.
Good.
We did?
Good.
We all did. It was all of us. It was,
Yes, exactly.
It was a whole effort.
Real group effort.
Go
I'll
team.
give you guys credit where it's due, but we all know the truth.
Yes, that's why I said it like that, Nathan. All right, Nathan, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, it is 3-14, Mr. Cozad, and I
Busy
mean,
man.
yeah.
I can maybe do one more. Let's do one more.
One more. All right. Okay. I guess last question here. What would you say is the best way to resolve a conflict?
Boxing.
Couldn't have said it any better.
Fight night.
Yeah.
It's tried and true. It never fails. No, man, you got to talk. Communication is key. You can't let things fester inside because then they blow up and small things get out of hand really quickly. So yeah, communication is hands down the best way to do it. In a time and a place where both sides feel comfortable and neither side feels attacked. With teaching, I've learned that you can't have a confrontation with the student in front of the class because that's gonna make the student feel like they're on the defensive and nothing gets accomplished when somebody feels like they're on the defensive. So definitely having conversations with whoever you have a conflict with one-on-one, in a place at a time where both of you can kind of relax and actually talk and communicate about your issues.
And you certainly couldn't box with a student either.
Not yet. Okay. As soon as there's some people that when they turn 18 and graduate, I would love to box them, but I'm never going to tell you who.
That's probably a good thing since, school's watching.
Yeah. One of them is you, Stockton. I would love to box you.
Oh, shucks. You flatter me.
But see, Stockton, if we boxed, it would just be 2 hits. I hit you and then you hit the ground.
Yeah. Don't doubt that.
Just make sure call your parents. Make sure your insurance is paid up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can never hit back. You mean too much to me, Mr. Cozad.
Oh, it's great. I do appreciate that. I really do think you mean that, and that means the world to me. So.
Of course I do. I wouldn't lie to you.
Shit, you hear? All right, so that was the interview. Mr. Cozad had to leave, but thank you for watching this latest episode of The Table, and we here wish you the best, and thank you for watching this latest episode.
And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry early Christmas, yes.
Happy Hanukkahs, Merry Kwanzas, etc., huh?
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
All right. Hat
It's
Group signing
November
off.
3rd.